tomorrow. A mysterious young woman. I hope she makes a swift recovery. I just can't stop thinking about that place. And the man who attacked us without any explanation. It was a place that belonged to... And while we were trapped there, only a scant... It's like the beach in that regard. Time flows different. Those battlefields you once journeyed to were also pockets of reality outside of our... Perhaps we'll be able to understand it better if we ever get the chance. Before I forget, Sam, it seems you left some cargo behind outside the Northern Environmental Observatory, where the tar bubbled up before we were whisked away to the other side. You remember all that excitement, yes? Anyway, Tarman was kind enough to collect your cargo for us. It's been placed in your private locker aboard the DHV Magellan.
Sam, we've received an urgent... Brigands to the west of the facility have got their hands on a large stock. This happened shortly after. The surrounding area was littered with a massive quantity of cargo that had been... The brigands wasted no time gathering. This included weapons and now we've begun observing new brigand. These ones are wearing red, reinforced armor, accented. As their unique appearance suggests, they're more resistant to damage. These units have clearly been outfitted for... And their sudden deployment is... Their presence likely indicates that the brigands... If we ignore this development, the brigands could use their new toys to attack. So we need to seize all of them. Moreover, the latest data from the observatory strongly suggests an explosion. APAS analyzed the shockwave and has concluded that This leads us to believe that the cargo directly assaulting the brigands using firearms risks triggering these devices. Any sort of catastrophic explosion... It is therefore critical that you avoid combat, and I implore you to take on this mission.
here we go. Let's catch up. okay, Sam?
Seriously?
Well done, Sam. That's the last of the cargo. Let's head to our destination and make the delivery.
Okay then.
Did you really go out and steal? Let me get started on... I can't find a single scratch on any of this stuff. You truly are one of a kind. have accomplished so much, done things only you could have done. We want you to have this data as thanks. We've increased your allocation of materials.
Now display your current porter grade.
The guidepost data we just shared with you is great for making landmarks to prevent people from getting lost, even at night. But also for creating routes that will facilitate travel for everyone. Aside from that, we've also made it so you can now use... The rivers ahead of you are prone to flooding, so I imagine extra long bridges will be especially handy. Oh, and Sam, call it a little... It included a device I believe you guys, these jammers, are capable. In addition, you also recovered some explosive, needless to say, both... In other words, but what I'd like to know... Honestly, it's almost like those... We've got to consider the food for thought.
Excellent work, Sam. You'll be happy to hear that tomorrow's regained consciousness. Once you're back on board the DH...
Order completed. Well done.
You take care of yourself.
Stop it.
Someone doesn't like shoes? She won't even touch any normal food. But at least we managed to convince her to take a shower. No, tomorrow. We don't do that.
Seems like a real handful.
She just needs some time to settle.
You must be tired, Sam. Get some rest.
access the delivery terminal at the Northern Environmental Observatory to take on this main order.
To wake up to another order. Sam, tomorrow seemed to... This is likely just a defensive mechanism, so to speak. A way to... At times like these, it's best to limit the number of... So let's trust in... You've been receiving more dangerous orders. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for... While I'm in Cape, if you throw me toward your enemies, yes. The brigands' vehicles are of a rather... You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or... They're enemy property, after all. I'd not get into the habit of you...
Sam, by linking up the various sites farther to the north. In short, it's time to tackle the northern... Start by bringing the F2 South District. Some of the staff there are former residents of Cape Fort Knot who managed to escape the city before it was swept. In addition to overseeing distribution operations, they also... Unfortunately, local chiral contamination levels are extreme. The cargo you're tasked with delivering should aid step. Accept the main order from this delivery terminal to proceed.
This cargo has been designated.
Order accepted. Thank you.
drawbridge, I presume. Welcome. I'll just need... There don't seem to be any problems with this cargo. One less thing to worry about. You have been making... All right. Go ahead and...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So we've been linked up, at last. There's also the necrobiotes you brought us as...
For our parts, we've shared data for some custom... I'm sure the vehicle parts and... You need all the help you can get. Because those armed survivalists waiting for you... They're a bunch of fools who won't... With no shortage of lethal weaponry. Make sure you're prepared before you... Speaking of which, those combat boots ought to add some serious...
They're not something just anyone should be messing with. Their affinity with the dead makes... But that's also why we can use them to prevent the dead. With that kind of power at our disposal, could solve all kinds...
Some people have called me that. A while back, we had a situation with this group that went around looting. And I was the boxing champ who went up against these guys and sent them all. That's the story they tell, but
I didn't charge gallantly into battle and beat the shit up. I asked why they were stealing from other people, and they... So I taught them other ways to survive. Trained them a bit. In the end, all we had to do was talk to each other. And they're still here. If anyone around here deserves to be called a hero, I mean, you're the one trekking across Australia trying to bring everyone...
Anyway, right now, we're trying to develop equipment tailored to... If we succeed, anyone will be capable. Feel free to lend a hand. We've uploaded some scheme. One of them is a heavy machine. It automatically acquires and fires at targets in range. It uses MP. It's effective not only against the human enemy.
The other part is a sticky cannon. When mounted, you find it makes rounding up dropped cargo easy. Pickup off-roaders can be equipped, so choose whatever's best. Thanks again. With your support, we'll be able to stay strong and keep doing your thing.
Sam, you're the best. Now get yourself back. Just so you know, tomorrow's been...
Order completed. Well done.
Feels good.
Please take care.
little longer, okay? Raindrops are falling on my head. And just like the guy whose feet are too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. You know this song? So I just did me some talking to the sun. And I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job. Those raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know. The blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Okay.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red.
Necrobiotes, and they seem to have become more commonplace lately. This sudden increase in the population. If we successfully extend the network across the continent... Sam, been a while since you... So, Samson Hook from the F2 South Distribute. I did some research, and I found he's a known as the Golden Fist as well. But don't misunderstand.